Greater Manchester has a stabby few days, that includes 2 teenagers stabbed outside a college, a 40-year-old female slasher, and a stabbing with a bit of a shooting added. Just for good violent measure. Starting with the first for today is an incident in the lovely suburbs of Oldham, which has an unfortunate title of being one of the UK's roughest towns. Is this title deserved? One particular female in her 40s decided to add to this label by ending up in court for turning into a Northwest ninja. Greater Manchester Police were called to assist the ambulance service on York Street at 4:20 a.m. following reports of an assault. A man in his 20s was taken to hospital with slash injuries to his face, neck, and EAR. At this early stage, police are asking for witnesses. Catherine Pye of Dickens Street, Oldham, has been charged with a Section 18 assault and will appear at Thameside Magistrates Court. Sadly, knives, serious violence, and serious injuries does not worry about age. In the Manchester district of Openshaw, 2 teens were stabbed in Herne Street near Manchester College in Openshaw. Emergency services raced to the scene at around 12:50 p.m. on Monday, the 6th of November, to reports of an incident outside Manchester College. An eyewitness said he was driving past and seen a large group of around 30 to 50 lads. He saw one lad sitting on a bench holding his stomach. 2 16-year-old boys who were part of a large group were rushed to hospital with serious stab wounds which fortunately are not life-threatening. One female resident on the estate said she rushed to help and described one lad lying on the bench while others tried to wrap an open knife wound. Residents are very worried and scared of how the area is. Residents say it's been getting worse for years and expect the violence will lead to the murder of a young person very soon. The focal point for a lot of the violence is the local park. One mum who has lived on the estate for 15 years said, "The fights and violence now happens every week and won't let her kids play out anymore." A lot of the locals say the estate is a focal point for violence and are scared about the worrying lack of police presence in the area. Manchester College principal Rachel Curry described it as an isolated incident in the Openshaw community and the college will remain open. It seems her statement, understandably, was more of an attempt to disassociate the college from the negative incident. No arrests have yet been made and there is a police manhunt underway for the knifeman, who is described as a young Asian in dark clothing with 2 braids in his hair. Police are chatting the same old story that extra officers are on patrol. This extra police presence is a small token action, as the extra officers will only be present and active in the community until there is another major incident in Greater Manchester, which in today's climate will happen very soon on Manchester's dangerous streets. Next up, and the last story, is from Manchester's naughty neighbour in the city of Salford. Salford is the city joined to Manchester. It has such a negative reputation due to its high crime rate, but the media never show any positives about this city. It still has very rough areas, but over the past decades has received a lot of funding to improve the docks and other areas. It has a population of around 130,000 and is about 8.1 square miles in size. With a week of usual violence in Greater Manchester, Salford jumps in with a serious attack to claim the headlines for the day. Officers were called to the Norfolk Street area, which is part of a new-build housing estate. They arrived at around 6:30 p.m. on the 4th of November. They found the victim, aged 34, with stab wounds and gunshot wounds, and he was rushed to hospital in a serious but stable condition. So police have launched an investigation and have closed off the road while C.S.I and Tactical Aid Unit carry out a forensic search for evidence. A resident of the area said, "There has been police at the address on and off over the past few weeks, then this happened." She also explained that the area is a nice place with expensive flats and houses. Police are asking for info due to no arrests yet being made. They believe the attack was targeted, and try and reassure the community by deploying more officers around the area over the next few weeks. One thought about the crazy amount of crime and violence on the streets of the suburbs and towns in Greater Manchester will partly be due to the police force putting a really heavy presence in the city centre to try and clean it up and be safer for the millions of tourists and visitors to the city. Mostly it is the fault of the government and their obscene cuts to emergency services, but still the police are not putting its own residents' safety first. They choose to try and create a false impression that Greater Manchester is a safe and attractive place. In my opinion, they have failed. Please like, share and subscribe so I can continue to make videos and always try to improve what I create. Thank you for watching.